Women who intentionally misunderstand men. We got to talk about it.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
There is a clear disconnect going on right now between men and women. On down to just basic level communication. And it's funny to me. Um I did a video earlier about how women disguise themselves, how they try to word salad us and gaslight us in the beginning of a courting or vetting or dating phase. And I wanted to do this video right here out of fun, you know what I'm saying, just to do it. Hopefully I can connect with a couple men on this one. Um Women who intentionally misunderstand us. I mean, it doesn't matter what you tell these women, they heard something different. And I got about 10 things. Of course, there's probably hundreds, but these 10 things I can speak for my personal experience. That when you say these things to a woman, I'm going to tell you, when you say this is what she hears. Okay? It's not going to apply to every woman. See, I'm very aware that there's good women that exist in the world who don't try to play these mind games with men, who aren't toxic, and they actually desire a good man themselves and are actually worthy. Okay, that's the challenge for us men, is to decipher through all of these toxic damaged goods until we finally end up with somebody that we can see as long-term um, quality, sustainable relationship material. Okay, so I'm gonna go over 10 things that us men we'd say, and then I'm gonna tell you what they actually hear. You might already know, but if you don't, you might find this entertaining. Let's jump in it. When we say be our peace, okay, we want a woman to be our peace. When we say that, we're looking for a safe place in a woman. We're looking for a woman who can be trusted with our vulnerabilities. We're looking for somebody that we can be ourself around, and we can be transparent with, and we can grow with, and we can have a long sustaining relationship, right? What women hear, toxic women hear, what toxic women hear when we say be our peace, is they hear that we don't already have peace. Okay? They hear that we have a chaotic lifestyle and we don't know what peace looks like, and we're looking for her to give us something that we don't already have. Now, I'm going to be fair in this video. I am also aware that there are a lot of toxic men in the world. And when I'm talking, I'm visualizing a couple of people I know, if I'm being honest, men who assist with making things more difficult for women as far as the way that they interpret what us men say, because they're manipulators. Okay? A lot of these coaches you hear online, they teach you how to manipulate women. So women, they're confused. I get it. I'm going to be fair. But just out of being fun, I want to break down a couple of things that we say and the way they misinterpret or intentionally misunderstand what we say. Maybe it's because they have trust issues. Too many people before us told her this stuff and it was all cap. Okay? But it's still fun to bring up. Number 2, when we say we want a woman who's submissive, what they hear is we want to control her. We're controlling. We want to dominate over her. We are looking for a slave. We're going to misuse her. She doesn't have a voice. Okay? This is important for us to understand, because we have to find better ways to articulate ourselves. Because even, like I said, there are some men who do actually want a woman to control, who do actually feel like a woman doesn't have an opinion. And that doesn't apply to all men. You know what I'm saying? Definitely doesn't apply to good guys. Okay, so we have to find another way to articulate this with a woman. I know I definitely desire a submissive woman, but not one that I can abuse, not one that doesn't have her own mindset or her own ability to think for herself. No, I definitely want a woman who has an opinion because I feel like iron sharpens iron. And if I got a good partner, she can help me be better. But see, that's not what most men who are looking for a submissive woman are looking for. So this won't apply all the way around the board. Okay. But when we say this, generally speaking, when we say as men that we want a submissive woman, all they can hear, toxic women especially, is that we're looking for someone that we can control, we can manipulate, we can take advantage of, take for granted. She doesn't have a voice and she just needs to be quiet and not have an opinion. And that's not what I'm looking for. But there's a lot of men who are looking for exactly that. So that's why she hears that. Number three, when we say we want somebody that we can build with, okay, I know what I mean when I say this. I'm looking for a woman. She doesn't have to have it all figured out. She doesn't have to be all the way successful and nothing else needs to be done in her life. I'll take her as is. She takes me as is. We work on each other. It's more of a internal kind of connection we're having versus it being an exterior or a superficial connection that we have that's based off of how much money I have, how much money I make, how tall am I, what I'm saying, all of those things. I'm looking for a woman that I can actually see that her character is somebody that I can see myself cohabitating with long term. Okay, that's what I mean when I say I'm looking for somebody to build with. Okay, but what women hear when we say this is that she hears that we're broke and that we want a woman to take care of us. That is because there are going to be men who are homosexuals who would claim to want a woman that they can build with, but then they move into her home. They don't sustain the job. They live off of her income and off of her resources. And this woman is stuck carrying the load. That's not always going to be the case, but this is why a woman would misunderstand what we mean as men, generally speaking, when we say we're looking for a woman that we can build with. Number four, when we say that we're dating intentionally, when I say that I'm dating intentionally, that means that anything that would be deemed a waste of my time, like friends with benefits, flings, dating a married woman, anything that won't, if it did grow organically and I began to like this woman more and more, I couldn't turn that into a sustainable relationship. That is what I would deem a waste of my time. So I wouldn't do anything like that. I wouldn't find a woman that I like romantically and then accept terms of just being just friends with her. No, I wouldn't agree to those terms because I know I like you more than that. Okay. So when we tell a woman that we are dating intentionally, what they hear is that we want to rush them into a relationship. Okay. And the reason why a woman would intentionally misunderstand us when we say this is because, once again, there are men who within 2 days of talking to a woman are already asking her what is her ring size. I think I found love at first sight. Will you marry me? We have to face reality here, fellas. Men do play a role in some of this chaotic behavior that's going on in modern dating. If you're a good guy, it's probably ain't got nothing to do with you. But it's important for us to understand why women are misconstruing what we're saying. In all fairness, there are men who are playing these games. Now, there are women who intentionally misunderstand what you're saying, too. This is a gaslighting tactic. Okay? And she's trying to justify her behavior by accusing you of being a typical man. Number five, when we say we have standards, when a man says he has standards, that means that he's not looking for no ratchet thatalalicious. That's for the streets. Okay? He doesn't want a woman that is doing thirst traps and OnlyFans and all of these things that he can't even introduce you to his mother and his family because they're going to be like, okay. Hell, some of our cousins might go subscribe to your OnlyFans. We don't want that. Okay, when we say we have standards, that mean that a woman has to meet our standards too. We have a couple of requirements for her too. Oh yeah, I definitely have standards for a woman for sure. I want a woman to have a job or some kind of revenue coming in. I want a woman who works because that's just one of my standards. But that just shows that she knows the value of a dollar and she's not sitting there talking about gimme, 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 trying to spend up all mines. She knows what it takes to go out and get it on her own. She's self-sustaining. I find that very attractive. So that's just an example of one of my standards. But what women hear when we say that we have standards, we're sassy, we're zesty, we're acting like a woman because we have standards. Now, this I won't tolerate. I'm not even going to justify that. But in all fairness, though, there are men who are sassy, who let their wife take or girlfriends or the female do all of the handiwork, like fix the car, take out the trash, cook all the food, and they just sit down all day, don't know how to do anything, don't know how to change a tire, they don't pump gas, they don't open doors. You know what I'm saying? There are men who do this, and that I would consider to be a sassy man. So I would understand why a woman would call that sassy, but don't call me sassy because I have standards. Number 6, when we say we're okay with being single, we are. I'm single. Do I look miserable? I'm not. I'm perfectly fine. After I'm done with this video, I'm going to go kick it with my homeboy. I just do this video so I can stay consistent. I do like what I do, and I enjoy helping, and I do enjoy talking and conversing with other men and providing validation so that they know that they are not alone in this world when, in modern dating and what's going on. I love it. But after I'm done, I'm going to go hang out with my buddies. I don't have a girl. I'm not even dating. I try to talk to women. It goes nowhere. I move on. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I'm not anxious. I'm not desperate. None of those things. When we say that to a woman, what she hears is we're probably entertaining other women. I have zero 304s right now. Zero. I don't even want none. If you're going to be deemed a waste of my time, I'm not going to even entertain you. I want one that's worth 5. I don't want 5 that ain't worth none. Number 7, when we say we don't do toxic, I don't do toxic. I don't do any kind of abuse. You're not going to call me. You're not going to verbally abuse me. You're not going to assault me. You're not going to insult me. Okay? You're not going to play mind games with me. You're not going to emotionally or mentally abuse me. You're not going to financially abuse me. You're not going to do any kind of, I don't tolerate, I have a zero tolerance for abuse and toxicity. I don't think it's cute. Maybe in high school, a woman with the attitude, you think she's cute. I'm 39 years old. That's annoying. A toxic woman is annoying to me. I can't even be in her presence. I would avoid the toxic woman at all costs. Okay? That's what I mean when I say I don't do toxic. Okay, I'm not finna argue back and forth with you. You want the last word, I'm gonna let you have it. It's gonna be your last word too, because I'm not gonna want to talk to you anymore because you that type. That's what I mean when I say I don't do toxic. But what women hear when we say that we don't do toxic, she hears that we're nonchalant, we're emotionally unavailable, we really don't care about her, we're shut off, we're wounded, we're damaged goods because somebody hurt us in the past. Not tolerating toxicity in these toxic women's minds means that we're the ones that's toxic. Crazy, huh? Number 8, when we say we ain't paying her bills if you ain't my girlfriend. Yeah, we ain't paying your bills because you're not my girlfriend. We're not foo-foo. We're not Barney foo-foo. We're not going to pay your bills because you look good. If we went around paying every woman's bills who look good, we wouldn't have any money to pay our own bills. And then secondly, we're gonna pay your bills, and you got 2 or 6, 7 other dudes doing the same thing. Why are we paying your bills? I seen a video on social media. I can't remember which one, where the lady was like on the phone with this dude. Somebody had the camera staged, so I don't know if it was real or not. But she was going on a date with this guy, and he called her, and he said, "What you doing?" She said, "Oh, about to go get my nails done." He said, "Oh, okay, for sure. Well, hit me up after you done with that." She said, "You not gonna ask me for my cash app?" He said, "Cash app for what?" She said, "To get my nails done." He was like, "Hold on, wait, let me back up a little bit. I'm getting your nails done, and I'm taking you out." She was like, "Yeah, if I'm going out, I gotta look a certain kind of way. You gotta get my nails did." He was like, "Nah, you ain't my girlfriend. I'm trying to get to know you. Okay, you trying to go out with me? I mean, you trying to make me your girl, right? So you need to show me." She said, "It's giving broke. It's giving broke." Oh, whew. Oh. This is what's going on right now, man. Okay. Um, we not paying your bills, man. You ain't our woman. You're not my girl. And I don't believe a woman would respect me if I pay her bills and she ain't my woman. She wouldn't. The respect wouldn't even be in her brain. She'd be like, "Okay, girl, I had him pay my bills before he took me out." It would just be self gratification. It wouldn't be appreciation. Craziness. But when we say that we ain't paying your bills because you aren't our girl yet, the woman hears that we're broke, okay, and we can't afford to do it. I don't know how to justify this other than to say that obviously, man, there's men out here who, when a woman blocks them, they pay her to unblock them by sending her a cash app, $100, and it happens. She blocks him for whatever reason. He sends her a cash app of $100 and puts his phone number in the description, like it tells you to list why you're or what the payment was for, and put his phone number and says call me. So if you meet a woman who done had 2 or 3 dudes do that, she's like, "Why? What make you think you sassy, huh? You don't send cash apps. You don't get women's nails done to take them on the first date. Who raised you? Who raised you?" Whew, you broke if you ain't paying the woman's bills that you don't even know, man. When we say, number 9, when we say we gotta work, like, you can't kick it because you gotta go to work. She hears you don't want to spend time with her right now. She's not a priority in your life. The, uh-uh. I gotta work. I gotta make money. I did a video one time where I said, avoid women who don't understand this. And one of the things I said, avoid a woman if she doesn't understand that she doesn't come before God, and she doesn't come before your purpose, and she doesn't come before your work as a man. And the reason why I say this is because if you don't put God first, and then you don't put your purpose second, and then you don't do work, you don't work as a man, you'll never be a masculine man. It will never happen. So if you have a woman who doesn't understand that you got to do all those things and she supports you at doing all those things, that's not really a woman that's looking for a masculine man. That's one that's looking for a poodle. That's one that's looking for a beta male. And I don't badmouth beta males. I just feel like she's looking for somebody who's extremely agreeable, who's a people pleaser, who puts her before he puts himself. And that's a bankrupt scenario, if you ask me. There's no way you can grow by putting a woman first. There's no way you can grow by putting anybody first before yourself. You got to secure your position, your purpose, your money. You got to do that. How can you provide for anyone before you provide for yourself? It's not possible. Okay. So when you say you got to work, in response to why you can't kick it or you can't go somewhere, and then this woman hears that you don't want to kick it with her, that's how she interprets what you're saying. Clearly, this can be a manipulation tactic. Clearly. And I don't think there's, I mean, I can dig my head, dig in my mind to figure out why a woman would say this, because what would a man have to do? He would have to have lots of money. He have to be an heiress or something like that to a fortune. He would have to be CEO of a company and just has not unlimited, but a lot of free time that he can just spend with this woman. And she had to believe in her head that it was possible for him to be sustainable, financially sustainable, and give her all his time at the same time. I'm not there. This wouldn't be a woman I'd be able to entertain. Lastly, number 10, when we say something like, let's take our time, let's slow down and take our time, I want to get to know you first. Okay, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to rush. We definitely we have had experiences in the past that have put us in a negative place, and we would like to avoid that if at all possible. What a woman hears, or a toxic woman hears, when you say this to her, she hears that you're not ready to commit. She hears that you don't take her serious, or courting her serious. You're not serious about her. You're a game player. This is trust issues on her own part. But at the same time, I could justify that a little bit, because there's men who are living double lives, who don't want to commit, who say, I'm just not ready. I've been hurt before. And they say this because they don't want to commit, and they want to be able to live their life the way they want to live. And they are playing games. So, I get it. If you got anything from this video, I hope it's that toxic women, or women who are emotionally damaged, that need a little bit of repairing, and I do believe that people can heal, they're going to intentionally or maybe inadvertently misunderstand what we're saying as men. Even if what we're saying means no harm, she's going to interpret it as harmful and as cap, as a lie. And something else that you probably can take away from this video is that women aren't 100% of the problem. There are men who are running this play on women, who do feel the need to lie to women. So, last thing I would hope that you take from this video is that we just simply have to go about articulating ourselves in a different way that's not so common, if we want a woman to understand where we're coming from. And we have to be transparent, and hopefully that'll lead to a sustainable connection with a woman, if that's what you even want. If not, I thank you for watching. And if you've liked this video, or if it resonates with you, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome, and this has been yet another episode of The Superb World. Until next time, y'all, 2 fingers. All right.